Is gardening the same around the world, or are there some interesting hacks that we can learn from our international friends? To find out, I had to summon the Bulgarian gardener here at Epic Gardening.
Zdravey.
Oh,
A little Bulgarian for you.
is it a?
That's just how you say hello.
Okay, hello, Jacques. French name, Bulgarian gardener. The world's not sure.
It's a little confusing.
But Jacques, today we've collected some of the most viral hacks from around the world. We're gonna look and see if there's something that us Americans can pick up.
I'm always trying to learn.
All right, so it's our friend Jamie Nettles and Petals. We've got some hay bales. Oh, there's Patrick,
Yeah.
the Frenchy gardener.
Double in here.
So a little UK-French collab here. So far, we've got some bales of straw and hay.
Oh, okay. I thought they were gonna do a straw bale garden.
So did I. Hold on here. So they've, oh, a DIY cold frame. Oh, this is cool.
That's pretty neat.
This is cool. The hay bale will insulate and protect the growing space throughout the winter, while the roof will allow light and warmth in, much like a polytunnel or greenhouse. Great polytunnel, by the way.
Yeah.
For you can add a fleece under the roof, and if your plants outgrow the space, simply add another layer of bales. Honestly, this is a very cool technique. I've never done it.
Yeah.
Zone 10B, we don't really have to. No, I'm not bragging, but we don't have to. But honestly, did you know that you were I like this.
I like it too because at the end of this like cold frame, you then take those bales apart and you can use them as mulch in your garden. So it's not like you're spending anything or using anything up.
So what did they do? They did hay bales, and then did they put straw down at the bottom?
They said they put some hay.
Oh, just some hay
and
on
I
the
think
bottom.
that's to like break down a little bit, maybe heat up as a compost.
And they go compost. So there's not a soil, well, remember it's the UK. Compost could be in soil over there. Little international hack. I would say this one is certified epic.
Yeah.
All right, we've got my favorite plant here, bougainvillea, as my grandmother says.
boogs.
Here we go. We've got a guy. He's shaking it. He's chopping it. He's chopping straight through the
He's
plastic.
getting aggressive.
So he's saying only cut until the roots are expanded. Take a bottomless round pot and place it directly in front of a slightly larger pot.
Okay.
Okay, and then he's chopping.
Okay.
I mean, so far so good, I think.
He's like bushing it up.
Oh, never let it grow taller. The plant's forced to thicken its trunk. Once the branches are thick enough, remove the top pot. Congratulations.
Whoa.
Is this a bonsaivillia?
That looks sick.
Wait, is that a bonsaivillia?
I don't know, but I want to do that.
Now what are we doing? If you want succulents to be worth more, what?
Oh, so they
Oh,
die?
you kill the leaves and then you pick them off.
Okay.
This is advanced.
This is like manipulation on
This
the
is
plants.
the pant.
Oh, that's pretty neat.
That is cool. If you want a calancho to become valuable,
I mean, you know I want a calancha.
well, this is a value. All these are value.
It is.
Remove the leaves, don't let it bloom, and don't let it grow taller. Each time new leaves appear, repeat.
Oh. This is like treating it like basil almost.
Yeah. Okay, so this is very much a manipulation of plants technique.
Yes.
I have to say, like, it gives a little bit of our old school Blossom or 5-minute crafts vibes.
Yeah.
But this, to me, looks like it's actually done by a practitioner of the craft.
And everything that happened does make sense as a consequence of the action.
It does. Yeah, it does. I mean, the bougainvillea one was really interesting because I have one growing up a chimney.
Yes.
This guy's basically created a bonsaivillia.
And I think I want to do this because I actually really like the look of that trunk.
It's beautiful.
And like that crazy flower structure.
So how did it thicken the trunk, though, is the question.
I think
you're
by
pruning,
just constantly pruning it.
and it's forcing, never let it grow taller where nutrients have nowhere to go. The plant's forced to thicken its trunk.
Oh man.
Is that actually how the botany of it would work?
I don't know.
Seems like
I kind of want to test this though.
Beautiful.
That looks
plant.
amazing.
That's a beautiful plant.
Yeah.
It honestly is.
Yeah, I'm sold.
So this one, yeah, I'm sold on this guy. This is worth a growing experiment at Epic Gardening coming up soon.
Okay.
Okay, we have Julie's first birthday from Roca Briggs.
Is that Julie or is the boat?
I think Julie's in the boat. Is she just lugging a child around in this boat?
I think Julie is the boat.
Is Julie the boat? Oh, Julie is. Okay.
Okay.
I was gonna say, like, I didn't get lugged. That was. What are we doing here, though? What's the hack?
This is a floating boat garden.
Boat garden.
Like
Honestly, I love
like
it.
It's a cold frame, a raised bed.
This is such a cool project. I have to give mad props. It is one of those where I'm like, why did you drag it in a boat? Like, what is the point?
I think they live on a boat.
I think they probably do. Okay, we're back with Roca. She does live on a boat.
Okay.
She does. Okay.
So this is expanding the journey.
So she's just adding another truck.
Yeah.
You know.
And it's a flower truck. Looks like
Wow.
she grows mostly vegetables on the actual boat.
One of Epic Gardening's mottos is teaching you how to grow no matter where you live. So we may need to do a collab with Roca because this is pretty cool.
I guess you don't need land.
What a peaceful life this seems like. Look at that little boat though. I love
Julie
that
did.
thing. I witnessed the energy of life forming a courgette or a beetroot.
Also,
She's tapped in.
yes, she's tapped in and she's watering from that lake or that natural river, which I'm sure has more nutrients than our tap water.
It's effectively an aquaponic system. So there's going to be some nitrates in there.
The plants look great.
The plants do look great. Honestly, this is one of those where I'm jealous a little bit.
Yeah, maybe got a boat, a little boat down the river.
I think I need a boat, Jock. All right, here we are with our boy Patrick, the Frenchie gardener. Hello, Patrick, if you're watching. Oh,
hello.
Oh. Honestly, I've thought about this. I've never peed doing that.
Freehand though.
Yeah, I mean, he's just really trying to. You can tell he peed in it because it bubbled up. Look at the bubbles. That is what it would look like. So you dilute it a little bit.
Yeah.
Right? And what's the point?
So there is urea, right, in your urine, and that has nitrogen when it breaks down, and so it is literally
Well,
fertilizer.
there's ammonia.
And yeah, the ammonia breaks down as well.
Ammonia goes to nitrites. Nitrites goes to nitrates. And then, of course, you do have to
Sure,
dilute
you
it.
got some trace elements in there.
I've got.
I know, I got some traces
I got a
too.
couple blood tests that confirm.
Yeah.
Very high potency fertilizer. The problem is you do have to dilute it.
Yeah. So
1
I'll
to
admit
10.
something.
Do it.
I have peed in the garden, and where I have peed, it's on flowers that I do not eat. They grew really well. They did not die. And I also pee in my compost, which I don't know if a lot of people
I've
know
peed
about.
in my compost before.
But why
I've
not?
peed in my pond.
It's an activator.
Yeah.
It's nutrients. It helps break down the compost. And by the time you get to the finished compost, it's not pee.
I can think of 5 places I've peed in my garden. You want them?
Yeah, I mean, I was trying to think of how many places I've peed in your garden.
You?
I mean, sorry, my garden.
Your garden. I've peed in the pond. I've peed on the bananas. I've peed in the compost.
All those are
I've
valid.
peed in my outdoor shower, which is,
Valid.
and then I think one time I just peed in the garden.
You just
I
kinda
just
let it-
peed somewhere.
It just felt right.
It felt right.
It always feels better outside.
Secret to an epic garden. No, it's a real tip. We'll do a video on it sometime. Okay, this is cultivation of cilantro in half PVC tubes, it looks like.
Oh, whoa.
So this is like microgreen style.
That's barely any soil.
It's barely any soil at all. Is that really all they're adding? Hold on. Wow.
And it's just like a trickle
Oh,
at
look
the
at
top.
the, look, oh, you know what? They do a slanted system, so
yeah.
it just trickles down one side.
Bro, this might be the most efficient cilantro that you could ever grow.
I think so, because it doesn't, spacing, you don't really need spacing.
And especially if you're growing them as young plants, like only getting like 6 leaves.
Wow.
That's pretty cool. And that's not a lot of space.
That's
How much
cheap.
cilantro that is?
That's so much cilantro. And again, it doesn't need to be a
That's
big
neat.
bunch.
Yeah,
So they can just really
Yeah.
heavily spread the seed.
I like that.
This is
Super low tech.
muy bien and also heavily approved. We've got a tip from the UK. Just a reminder that the cheapest native pond plant you can buy is in your local supermarket. Oh, I love watercress.
I know you're a watercress.
I made watercress soup from my garden once, or from my pond.
I did not realize that. I mean, it makes sense now that I've seen it grow here.
Yeah.
That you could just buy a bag.
You can just buy it. As long as you have a stem with a node that can produce a root,
Yeah.
you're totally fine. Oh, hold on. It's the perfect hiding spot for... Is that a frog? Oh my God. I need frogs in the pond.
I don't know why they haven't shown up.
I don't know either. I think it's just a little bit too hot. No, watercress is a highly nutritious green. It's actually one of the most dense on a per calorie basis, nutrient-rich greens that you can have. And watercress soup, honestly, potato watercress soup, one of the best soups out
So you
there.
get all the nutrition from the watercress, all the delicious creaminess from the potato.
And nutrition from the potato.
And the nutrition.
And a little bit of cream for that richness, that fat, and then the salt and pepper.
I mean, pretty cool that you could literally, it's maybe the easiest plant to propagate from buying something at the grocery store.
You don't have to try, trust me. I thought I removed all the watercress from my
you
pond.
can't.
It's been years, it still comes back. I mean, it's not overgrown, but
Yeah.
it's a great tip. Okay, we've got a cucumber tip.
Okay, I can already tell.
I'm hating this.
I hate everything.
You know where this is from? Not Earth.
It's from the garbage bin.
It's from the garbage of AI. AI content in the garden, guys. It's getting harder and
Yes.
harder to detect it. But for a little bit of media literacy, let's show you what's going on here.
Yes.
First of all, who walks like that?
I don't.
But watch this.
The proportions of everything.
The proportions are weird. The
lighting?
The lighting is
Insane.
inconsistent.
Yeah.
Like there's weird shadows on here. Now let's go ahead and look. This gave it away for me. Look at this.
yeah,
Look at how
it
he
was like-
spread it. He
and
spread it
perfectly.
too easily, too perfectly. I mean, you should be able to tell, hopefully, that this is AI.
But this is a warning, guys, because like it's getting better,
It is getting
and you
better.
have to trust your instincts.
Like
here.
2-3 years ago, you would not have been able to create content like this in a generative fashion.
Okay,
Now, of course, when you see this time lapse, you know it's and it also goes straight through.
Are those cucumbers just
The
appearing?
cucumbers just showing up. We included this one not because it's a good hack,
Yeah.
but because there's an influx of crazy amounts of slop in our category gardening, but also across the internet.
Yeah,
I think it's important to.
And this has a lot of views, a lot of likes, and so I just want to make sure, guys, that you think a little bit about your intuition as gardeners and trust that intuition.
Yeah, I mean, this has 32,000 likes. Okay, here we go. I believe we're in.
I don't know. That language is
Thai, perhaps?
could be Thai.
Thai or Malay? I'm not sure. Hold on, I was too busy on the language to figure out the tip. All right, we've got. Is this lemongrass?
Like sticks, and then leaves and compost.
Oh, it's like a mini hugelkultur.
Yeah, in a container.
And that looks like a loofah, perhaps?
Yeah, I can't tell if it's like
He's got. Oh. That's a very clever trellis system.
Interesting.
So this is just a trellis, like a sort of low budget trellis.
Yeah.
I think that's really cool. It's bamboo.
Yeah, and I've never done like a hugelkultur in a container, but certain plants really like rotting material. Like I know cucurbits in general love like decomposing compost, for example.
Yeah.
So probably having that stuff down there might actually be beneficial.
It just
I don't know.
It looks like
It looks a little bit
chopped up,
skinny.
perhaps a fig or something
Yeah,
like that. But
for sure.
I'm more focused on this trellis design.
I like that trellis.
It's just very clever. It's
Yeah.
very simple, very clever. Also very
Low-tech.
sturdy looking.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got Jamie, Nettles and Petals is back. A lot of these half PVCs are rain guttery type
Yes.
things. So that's peas in a
This
rain
is one
gutter.
that I've wanted to try. I wish I tried it this year.
I tried it when I first moved into this place about 6 years ago. But the coolest part is not that you do it in the gutter,
Yeah.
it's that you transplant it as that.
and then you just have a row of peas.
Just put a bunch of stakes in the ground. If they rip right up, and look at that. I mean, our boy, he knows how to grow. Even though we beat him in the war, I still approve of this tip. Okay, Gardener's World and Simon Ackroyd. Simon's
Okay.
secret
Classic
slug
UK.
method. Okay, so I mean, slugs in the UK, it's like
Slugs have got me pretty bad this year too. They've been all up in
Finally.
my lettuce,
finally.
and I'm not happy about it.
Okay, he uses a tile or a plank and leans it up on the shady side of a raised bed.
okay.
Keep going, or just in a flower border. Leave it there overnight. Oh, is it because they're gonna go underneath?
I'm guessing it's like a
Yes,
trapper.
it's a
And
trapper.
then you could just clean it out.
They congregate on the underneath of your roof. This is a clever method.
This is like you don't really have to do any chemical things.
You just make an environment they want
That
to
they
be,
wanna
that
be
is in
in.
your bed, and then you dispose of them. This is when I did. Okay, I'm so invested. Look at that.
That's horrendous.
That's amazing.
That's a lot of snails.
That's a lot of little boys.
And then you could choose how to dispose of them. If
Exactly.
you want to be rough,
You've got hens,
yeah,
ducks,
they're
yeah,
gonna
ducks.
snap those up.
This is a very clever idea.
Yeah.
It says
It kind of
shoot me.
monitors.
Yeah, exactly. I'm
Because then
try
you know.
This. I'm gonna try this. This is great.
Next to my lettuce bed.
You
that's
kids got
gonna-
something going.
Hey,
All right, here we go.
it's like a little mesh container.
Looks like some flowers we're starting here. They double wrapped it, which makes sense. Keeps it nice and
Okay.
buffered. They're sprouting. They're sort of pre-sprouting.
Okay, we've seen this.
We've seen this. And they're gonna put that. Oh, are they gonna prick it out and then
I think
put
it
in?
loosens it in the water like that.
Oh, right. Oh,
That's like a really gentle prick.
that's actually a nice
Yeah.
tip.
I like that.
I would say for me, I wouldn't want to prick it out of a small tray and put it into a large
I think it
one.
makes sense for doing 72 plants.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. If you're doing 72, but then you could have put them in the tray
Yeah,
to start. That being said, though, this is a really cool method. If you are going to use the pricking out method, which is starting in one block and then just literally pulling them out with tweezers and
Yeah.
putting them somewhere, I've never seen someone do the water.
Yeah, and you could honestly do this if you had like, let's say a 6 cell and you had like 6 tomatoes in one cell.
Yeah.
You could just soak that block and just tease it all apart and it should loosen much easier.
Yeah.
So
Highly approved.
yeah,
Love this
smart.
one. Okay, we got a yogurt. We got mushrooms. Are you
All right,
excited?
I'm activated.
He's
I'm actually a
activated.
little bit behind on my mushroom game this year, I have to admit.
So cardboard, boiled, sterilized.
And those are
then-
just chunks of mushroom from the store.
I think so, yeah. In a yogurt, I eat that yogurt all the time. 0% fat, baby.
Oh, whoa.
Looks
That's
bad.
a lot of mycelium.
That's mycelium. Oh, it's fully colonized.
Oh, it's pinning.
Oh, it's in the actual yogurt though. No way. So he's making these are oysters. Yeah, those
And
are
that's
oysters.
just cardboard and oysters from the grocery store.
Was that oysters from the grocery store?
That's what it looked like. She just had chopped up little
As
chunks.
long as they're sporing, it should work.
I think it's
Right?
even though sometimes you could clone the mycelium even.
Really?
So like the fact that they have the mycelium even attached to the little bottoms of the mushroom
Yeah.
is all you really need.
That's all you need.
So that part.
You definitely have to
Yeah,
boil it though.
there you go.
Otherwise, you're not going to
Yes,
get it.
you have to
That's just a
sterilize.
sterilized mix.
That's crazy that cardboard can do
This
that,
might
though.
get you back in mushrooms.
All right.
Highly
A little
recommend.
countertop kit for me.
Cool one.
I like that.
Oh, it's our boy Simon again. Strawberries from the supermarket. Okay, he's got that.
I think he's an OG UK gardener.
Got a friendly face, man.
Yeah.
Seeds are on the outside.
I've never grown strawberry from seed, have
Cut
you?
thin slivers of skin. Yeah, once. Leave to dry. So you got to get the seeds off. Yep, yep.
Because the seeds are on the outside.
On the outside.
Very weird.
Tip them onto a plate. Okay.
Oh, that actually looks pretty
good.
efficient.
Yeah, it did look pretty
Surprisingly
efficient.
efficient.
Take the strawberry container, a little repurposing.
Okay,
Simon,
I like that. I like that.
fill it with compost. So far, so good on my end.
Compost or compost?
Compost. Place it warm and sunny. So we're just surface sowing these strawberry seeds.
Oh, interesting.
We're spraying them. Is he going to go with the prick out method? He might. Cool to see a strawberry
They're
seedling.
so
You don't see it
teeny.
that often.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he is pricking them out.
But he let them get pretty decent sized.
Look at those sprouts.
Yeah, they look
cool.
like almost like wild strawberry leaves.
These are
Damn,
pretty
that's
strawberries this
impressive, honestly.
summer. Honestly, that's really good job on Simon's part.
Because I thought also that strawberry seeds like needed cold weather, but he just did it on the countertop.
He did.
So
Simon Ackroyd, Garden Red.
All right.
Highly recommend this guy. This guy's amazing. Okay, here we are in a very beautiful,
yeah, it looks like
organized
super
garden.
lush.
Oh, I've seen this before. So this is a vertical tower. This is basically the green stock towers that we offer on our store. Cool colors, exclusive to Epic Gardening you can find. But he's gone PVC pipe drills, and then what is that
It looks like a cutting of maybe like a Portaluca or something.
Yeah, it looks
so.
like
It's a
definitely
really
a flower.
yeah, a small stem for this to work. This one I'm like on the fence on. Like, how long will those last? Are they just rooting or flowering once? But it's honestly pretty neat. The fact that he has two of them.
Look at the
makes me think it
irrigation
works.
setup too.
I
he's
think it's
got
dialed in.
irrigation high-low in his garden, which is really cool. So he's got that low, and then he's got running a tube high and just dropping down.
Perlite for good drainage.
If you have this set up, I feel like
It could
this
be
is
a cool
really
statement
cool.
piece.
This could be really cool,
Yeah.
honestly.
And pretty simple in the end.
I like it. Now we've got the Amrit Tonic Part 2, 5 liters. I assume we're here in India. Buttermilk.
Okay. So acidic.
Turmeric. 40. What are we doing here?
Uh-oh.
4 to 5 bananas and orange peels.
Oh, that's the water from that.
That's the soaked water. Yeah. Mustard cake. I don't have these ingredients. I can be honest with you.
I've never had a mustard cake, but I'm guessing it's like
Mix it well.
leftover from like
Don't
mustard
spray,
oil?
it says. It says don't spray. Buttermilk. Lactic acid kills bad fungus.
Maybe.
Banana peels. They're going to say potassium.
Yeah, I guess they did ferment it, so.
Did they? Or
I
they
mean,
just soak it?
they soaked it.
Mustard cake, nitrogen, new growth. Save this video for your garden. Look, I mean, we've done a couple videos on soaking different organic materials.
Yeah.
It's not that nothing happens, I would say, but I don't know a plant that needs dairy fat added to the soil, for example, with the buttermilk.
Yeah.
I don't think that's wise.
I wonder with the lactic acid, I mean, I know there's different ways of getting that
Yeah.
into your soil, but I don't know if it actually kills things like you pour it on it just kills stuff.
Well, if it's going to say kills fungus, first of all, is milk that acidic?
I don't know, yeah.
You know,
But it's
second of all,
interesting.
it would kill good fungus too.
That's
It's
true.
not like it's
That's
you
true.
know just targeting the bad. I think with foliar sprays, sometimes when you spray on the leaves, you can see some good results with milk and powdery mildew. There's
Yeah,
been
that's true.
some good results there.
Yep.
In my opinion, this is probably a little overkill. I think there's better ways to get a fertilizer into the garden.
So it turns out across the pond, we can learn a couple different things, and even all over the world, some really interesting ones in here, and some ideas I definitely want to try at home.
Absolutely. You're going to see some of these in future Epic Gardening growing experiments. And if you do want to see some of our favorite reactions, check out this video right here. We'll see you in the next one. Good luck in the garden and keep on growing.